There's a trend going around on social media comparing where you were 10 years ago and where we are now. So I thought I'd do mine, 2016 until now. So in 2016, I was a student starting my PhD. I was excited. I was curious. I was completely immersed in the university life. I was living on campus. I was starting out again academically, and I was like paying attention to how the student experience felt from the inside. I cared about belonging, about how people connected, about what made some spaces feel supportive and other spaces feel transactional. Not because it was my job, but it was my life. I loved it, I lived it. And as I moved through my studies over the years, I also worked in different pockets of the university, mainly around the student and the alumni experience. That's where I started to see patterns repeating themselves. So I noticed how the engagement efforts were often disjointed with a lot of activities that were actually like happening on campus, but I didn't see very little measurable impact. I saw messaging that wasn't exactly aligned across teams. So, what was going on in this part of the university wasn't being communicated to that part of the university, and staff who were really working hard but didn't have like a shared strategy or training about like how to build real community. And I saw how institutions, they really planned engagement with a long-term lens beyond like the next event or the next couple of events, the next campaign or the next couple of campaigns or the next funding cycle. So now, 10 years later, what's changed hasn't been my interest in universities, but it's my perspective. I've seen what happens when community isn't treated as infrastructure and is treated like a nice to have. The cost isn't always immediate, but it compounds over time. Looking ahead, I'm genuinely interested like what the next 10 years are going to look like in helping institutions like colleges, universities to think more deliberately about the student and alumni communities as a strategic investment and not side projects. Yeah. So I'll just leave it there. Actually, I'll leave it off with a question. How are you planning this next decade of the student and alumni community? Let me know.